Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bluebeard Podcast, Episode 2. My name is Azure, and I am joined with my co-host, Anim. How are you doing today?
That's me. I'm awesome. I'm doing great. Got a
Yeah?
lot of good things coming out and playing.
You seem peppy.
I'm trying to be, mainly because I've been staying up way too late for my Mass Effect review stuff, and holy crap, dude, that whole story is just a ride.
You put
It
like
still
85
holds
hours
up.
into the second one, right?
It was 41 and
Oh,
26 minutes.
okay.
Well, I mean, massive compared to like the just over 12 hours on my ME1 playthrough.
Gotcha.
But that's also because I went through every side quest. I got all the collectibles. I did pretty much almost everything you could do in that game.
And you really recommend it then?
Yeah, dude. Oh
Okay.
my god. I would definitely say that's a big high point for the Mass Effect series, as most people would consider two to be the best because it took everything from one and just improved on it. But then once three came around, that was a new director entirely. So,
Okay.
just kind of goes out the window.
Yeah, because I haven't finished the game yet, but what I did like about the first one compared to the second is the villain is more focused. It's like an individual instead of a group.
In the second one?
In the first one, like you only chase like
Oh,
Saren,
first.
and then like
Yeah,
it kind of
yeah.
expands to be a group, which I think maybe dilutes it a little bit, but it also I haven't finished it, so I
Yeah, they still they at least for two they put. Are you talking? I'm assuming you're talking about Cerberus.
yeah.
Uh, because yeah, they definitely put them in a middle ground area. They're kind of gray. Their main focus is just they will do whatever it takes to strengthen humanity, and so the Alliance wants nothing to do with them. But at the same time, other people can understand that Cerberus is out there doing the stuff that Alliance has their hands tied to. So
Mhm.
they're really in the gray area, but overall, you can work with them to take out the Reapers because that is just two things coming together for a common cause.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely check that game out. I have it installed on my PS5. I'm just have just haven't been pulled into it.
Yeah,
I started Dragon Age 1 because after playing that first part of Mass Effect, I was like, I've missed Dragon Age.
the original or
Yeah,
Origins?
Origins, yeah.
Okay, yeah, Origins, man, because I never played the original. Well, I didn't know about Dragon Age until they expanded the first game into Origins, and I
Well,
always thought that was really
Origins is the
cool.
first one, and then they expanded it to Awakening.
Yeah, because if I remember right, the game that came before Origins, one is Origins, but the very first game you didn't have all the different backstories from the different characters that you could choose.
Maybe I said like a PC
I believe
exclusive.
Origins was it was an expansion to console, and they allowed it to have multiple different backstories, like a massive DLC type situation.
Maybe that sounds cool. But yeah,
I mean,
I just
this
played
is
it on
this is
console.
from a long time ago. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
just
always played the elf dudes.
I hate the elves.
I don't know why. I just like their story.
I
So
I think because I played Kingdoms of Amalur, and the elves are just role playing
yeah,
other elves, and it's like funny, and I think that
yeah,
just diluted all elven lore for me. I don't know. But you say
yeah. I'm surprised they came back with that too. Sorry about that.
no, it's all good. You're enjoying Mass Effect 2 right now. You're saying like really loving it.
No, I love it. I'm done with it. I was immediately wanting to get into Mass Effect 3 because I never played 3. But it was like 6 in the morning, and I was like, I got to start on this review. I got other things to do, so probably after this, I'll do some editing and things like that, and then start on Mass Effect 3. I'm really psyched to try that one.
Gotcha. Yeah, I heard the ending was controversial, but I also didn't play it, so I don't know if
Yeah, so with the whole situation, it seemed like they wanted to, from what I know a good chunk about it, but at the same time, no personal experience. It seemed like they wanted to wrap things up in a nice little bow real quick. They didn't want to, at least with the new director, because a lot of people were saying it's similar, but also almost very different in comparison. Like the stories were changed, situations like that, People really wanted the choices they made in the first two games to like really pull through in this one. And some of those that did seem like they would be big in two just kind of get like, yay, here you go. Now you're done with that. But with the whole
Okay.
ending situation, the end of the game at least was almost like astronomically hated on a huge level. It was big.
Yeah, I
So
remember
they
that.
almost immediately came out. Yeah, they're just like, you know what? Here's the extended cuts. Now you have more choices for ending stuff, and everybody still kind of hated it. So
Yeah.
overall, a lot of people said, it's a good game. Just how could something like this live up to the first game and the second game, having the bar set so high?
Right.
But overall, I'm fairly open-minded. I'm fine with that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious to see your review when it comes out. I know it, as you said, you put more hours into the second one, so it's probably going to take a little bit more time to kind of sift through your thoughts.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. There's a lot to talk about on the second one.
Okay. Well, we'll save that for when you make your video then.
Will
Yes.
do.
So is that the only game you've been playing lately?
Yes, I picked up Biomute, haven't played it. I looked at other people's like in-depth reviews and things like that I was curious about. And the whole concept looks super cool. It
Right.
looks really beautiful. It kind of reminded me of like Kung Fu Panda in a way, but just how it is, it's almost like they took like almost double the triple A looking style stuff, but mixed it with like not even a B rated, mechanic system. Just the at least I'm trying to process because I only went into like one big in-depth review. I didn't want to spoil myself too much.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the voice acting. It was almost just like three people doing the same things over and over and over. Whole sounds weren't even clicking in like shooting a gun or whatever, and you're not doing anything.
Yeah, because I haven't played it yet, but I was watching my roommate play it, and he was saying how the narrator, it's basically just like one narrator, just goes over every
Yeah,
single conversation you're going to do, and he's just like transcribing it for you because they're not actually talking.
yeah, it's like a bunch of like noises or something like that.
Yeah, like so like there was like a
Um,
guy who looked kind of like Elvis, like he had like the greaser hairstyle, and he's like,
yeah,
oh yeah, we're the king, but it's just like
it almost seemed like they took like a big game and mashed it with the silliness of Bug Snacks, if that makes sense.
sure, yeah. I think it's one of those games. I think it's being harshly judged, even more so than.
A little too much, I would say. I believe because they can fix this stuff, in post productions and all that.
But I also think it's also because it costs $60. That's why people are going so hard into it. It's like
Oh
if
yeah,
you
definitely.
charged it as a $40 game, I don't think people would have as much of a problem with it.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. I'm not entirely sure what the whole situation with the company is going. I mean, because THQ has produced some pretty good stuff in the past,
Right, but they're
and
only a publisher. They're not actually a developer.
oh yes, um, God, who made 101? I think the devs were.
I think so.
Yeah,
That
so
sounds right
no,
to
I mean
me.
it's just interesting that yeah, because I got it mixed up with 505. Uh, but it was interesting that uh THQ I meant would put something like this out
Hmm.
in comparison. I mean, and also how in contrast to something like Valheim, like that was a five-man team.
Yeah, because
Just
Biomutant is only 20 people or so. Like not too many either. But
yeah.
what's interesting about this one is I think it also had the cyberpunk effect where it was announced so long ago that people were just thinking, well, it's got to be good because it's been working on for so damn long.
I would say Mass Effect Andromeda for that. All right. They worked on that game for a long time.
Yeah. What's the well? Cyberpunk was like 10 years. I think it was announced like 10 years before it came out.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I didn't really follow any of
nor
that,
I.
not until like the last year or two. Yeah, that all that was just silly nonsense though.
Yeah. I think a lot of games are getting that too. Like, the Starfield game that's about to come out is overhyped too, but no one knows anything about it. So it's like that one's even funnier to me.
Yeah, it's like, what can we even say? But I think maybe Bethesda's trying to play it smart on that though.
I mean, we could assume it plays similar to Fallout. It's in
Yeah,
space.
well, I mean, especially if they don't want a whole like hype up the 76 situation, like, yeah, it's gonna be cool, blah 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 blah. Oh, this is garbage.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it happens. I'm curious to see what they show next week.
Yeah, I have no idea. So, I mean, whatever E3's got to bring, I'm very interested.
Hmm.
Oh, speaking of which, sorry, I was scrolling through some like different articles and whatnot. It seems E3 has a few words that they've banned, such as Canada and Toe Jam.
Canada's been banned.
I guess a word, something like that. I didn't bother to click into it. I was like, this is
Th-
this sounds like some E3 stuff here.
I mean, that sounds funny. That they're just like they're not paying for their tickets, so we got to ban them from even mentioning where they're from.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, what about Toe Jam and Earl? What if somebody wants to talk about Toe Jam and Earl?
Maybe
Is it
the
just going to be Earl?
maybe the developer pissed off the ESA.
I have no idea.
I don't know either. I'll look into that later. That sounds funny
Uh,
enough. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do though. At least with the whole silly online interaction stuff, I would assume like they're just going to have these big group meetings, like everybody that's in the press badge release. You can all watch this together in this Zoom video or some crap like that.
Right. Yeah. E3 seems like a mess this year because it's online only. And like, have you tried looking up the schedule right now?
No,
It,
no,
it's
it's
very confusing. Like, Square Enix hasn't even announced what time theirs is going yet. And the same with Nintendo.
yeah.
But like Microsoft, we know is coming out on it's like Sunday the what was it, the 12th, 13th. Yeah,
I thought Nintendo was starting off early. I can't
they might be.
remember now.
We don't know. They haven't said when they are.
Huh. Not sure. I heard my brain's just kind of all over the place searching for Nintendo news now because Nintendo's been making some news.
Yeah, because the alleged Switch Pro.
Yeah, no, that's been a lot of talk, and also recently with their $2.1 million lawsuit that they had filed back in 2019 against the ROM site, and they originally went after that person for 15 million. But I mean, hey, they still won.
Yeah, but they want to set an example. They're gonna.
Oh, definitely. They are willing to do it. They've shut down in actual game stores, like the one in Canada that had broke street date for Pokemon Y, X and Y, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And the person started streaming that on Instagram, and yeah, that was a big mess. There was somebody down in Australia that was leaking information, and there was no ties back to that person. And then they got a phone call from Nintendo's lawyers at his work. He very much stated after that, like, I'm never doing this again. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's what if you're gonna do that stuff, you should record like a Let's Play kind of style and then upload it the day the game comes out.
Yeah, nah, for real. Or, just keep your damn mouth shut.
Yeah. Don't go
They
streaming the
broke
game
street
before.
date. Yeah.
Just sounds stupid.
Jesus. I mean, not Pokemon, sorry. Nintendo is crazy enough to do these kind of things. I think the only company that doesn't really care would be Walmart, because Walmart has broken street dates multiple times,
Yeah.
and they have enough money to pay the fines. They don't care. They'll do it. They've done it multiple times. It's pretty frustrating because it sets an example of like, hey, we're still doing it.
What? Which was it? Final Fantasy VII remake that people were getting early access to last when it came out.
I can't remember. The last big
Okay.
thing I remember was when they were announcing the consoles,
Mm-hmm.
and Walmart tweeted out like, "Hey, we're not going to make you wait. Pre-order now."
Oh
And
right.
everybody was just freaking out. I'm like, "Come on."
Yeah, that was a crazy day. I think we both got PS5 pre-orders that day.
Yeah, thanks that you warned me. You
Yeah.
warned me on my way to work, and I saw it, and I ran in there. I got the last one.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Weird times, man.
Yeah, I got super lucky though, at least with how the whole buggy glitch system stuff was going. Thankfully, I didn't have any of that, but uh, you know, pray to all the fallen people with their buggy PS5s.
Yeah. So I've been following the Switch Pro rumors that have been going around this week. Allegedly, they're supposed to Nintendo's going to release info on it before E3, so that way they when other companies show off games that are exclusive to the Pro, it doesn't have to be like held out to a later time. They can just show it right at E3. So you think that's
Yeah,
the
that'd be
reasoning
cool.
why they're going to show it before E3? And I've seen listings pop up on Amazon, and I know there was a website that just popped up saying that what's the what's the term called? The street date for a listing will go up on the 6th of this, like on Sunday this week. So we'll probably know around then what's going on. I forget what the term I was looking for is called, but
Hmm.
yeah. So we might see Breath of the Wild 2 with the 60 frames.
Yeah, dude, I am all excited about that. I mean, set your expectations low, but
Right.
if it's something high, yes. Especially with, Jeff Grubb. He's had, faulty information in the past, but also he's one of the most reliable for accurate information as well.
Yeah.
But he's only predicting about a 51% chance that there could be something about Breath of the Wild 2 at E3. But he is definitely more sure that there's going to be some kind of Zelda news of some form
Right.
at E3, whether that be, Skyward Sword or something entirely new. But we'll
Yeah.
see.
Well,
I'm very hyped.
we'll see what they do show, but I'm excited about the possibility of it with the Switch Pro. That way, because replaying Breath of the Wild, you notice the issues that the system was having with it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what else is on your topics you wanted to go over?
Topics. Let's see. So we'll start off at least with some of the bigger ones that I have. Already talked about the Nintendo awarded millions.
Man,
Why would
I'm
they
kind of
make
wish
millions when they got trillions?
I wish I had some ROMs downloaded before that happened, just so I could be like, hey, this is a legacy item.
Oh, dude, that reminded me. I had a roommate one time, and he was all talking about like, oh, I'm gonna download Mario Kart 64 right now, and I'm like, you better not do that. I watch what happens. And he's like, oh, they can't do anything about it. We actually got we got like a notification text like, hey, you might be stealing individual property here from our service provider. They're like, you
Yeah,
better knock that off.
yeah,
And that freaked him out.
I got that from downloading the Motorhead discography.
God, it is
I did
crazy.
not know that
And
that could happen. And I was like, oh, sorry.
yeah, they're on you like bam, dude. It was within minutes.
Yeah,
Um, Next up we have Dark Horse Comics starting a game and digital entertainment division, which is pretty cool. Dark Horse has been around for 30 some odd years now, 35 years.
yeah,
And
they publish comics typically.
yeah, I mean they do a lot of good work. I mean, such as one of my favorite mangas, I Am a Hero. I was originally reading that series off of a uh rock manga, I believe, and it was being fan translated, and they were being paid for it and all that, so a lot of it was pretty good and accurate. And then the whole thing got shut down, and then so they started, publishing it for America, and that was awesome.
Yeah, because I think they published Berserk in the
Yeah, they did.
America. I think Helsing
They
as
got a lot of
well,
stuff.
and yeah, I know that they are an American company though, so they have done American comics as well. But in the manga sphere, they are pretty popular.
Yeah, it says they've published a bunch of stuff like Hellboy, Frank Miller, Sin City, 300, Umbrella Academy, Polar Lady Killer, all this stuff. Resident Alien, haven't heard that one. But they have a wide swath of entertainment under their belt
Yeah,
for
definitely.
sure.
So if they can pull
But yeah,
properties that they have though and make games for it, that's an interesting idea.
Oh, yes, yes. Let's see. I'm going to sift through here real quick. Down here, Dark Horse Comics have doesn't have staff yet to make AAA games in its most famous IPs, so it will try to make partnerships with high in-game development companies that can make them. Dark Horse Comics will build its own internal game studios to work on games based on either newer, less established IPs or those that are older and less well known.
Hmm.
So essentially, they're just going to be outsourcing their big properties to big developing companies. Which I mean, that's perfectly fine. You team up two giants together to make one really good product, you know.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
it says here they're going to be planning this kind of stuff for a few years. They're going to be releasing new stuff like this a lot now.
Okay. Because I'm looking through a list of all the stuff they've published in the past. So whether they still own the license to them or not is up to debate, of course.
Mhm.
But like they published like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so that'd be an interesting game. They published Conan stuff, but I think Marvel has the rights to that again.
Yeah, it's kind of bananas just how much stuff they have.
Yeah.
They're a very beloved company, I would say, even among Nintendo and stuff. They've worked with Nintendo before on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it looks like they did the God of War comic before the 2018 game, like the prequels. But that's also a Sony property, though, so they're not going to release that
Yeah,
with this. But a Hellboy game would be interesting.
yeah. It it's just crazy to think about because they're still going strong on their comics division and whatnot, but they definitely see just how much they can make expanding the company.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm imagining that because they're not a big team, they're probably going to be doing like indie games if they were to do their own. Because they're not like a major. They don't have a lot of money on them. They're
Hmm.
not Disney or like WB, you know.
Oh god, yeah,
So
especially. But I mean, I still have a lot of faith. They will. There. It sounds like they're playing some really smart moves here.
yeah, I'm curious to see where it turns out.
Let's see. I might have a few more things. No, I guess that was like the main stuff for me. You know. Oh yes, you want to talk about some? What about that Sonic rumor that you're talking about? Or
Oh,
ho ho ho
so
ho.
did you see the Sonic 2022 teaser trailer they did?
I haven't.
Okay. Well, there was like a 4chan leak that talked about the game before it was announced. And then
Hmm.
so then they showed the teaser of it. And then Sega did release a press release early that said the title of the game. And then they retracted it saying that it was inaccurate. But we know the game's going to be called Sonic Rangers.
Okay. Well.
And
Oh, I mean,
it's gonna be a 3D open world game, which is weird for Sonic. And it's gonna have like
it's
Ubisoft
that's in.
towers, so you fill up your map and stuff as you explore.
Oh, okay. I can kind of see that. I can. That'd be kind of cool.
It'd be something different at least,
Yeah, I want to see them expand a little bit as well. I mean, get away from the Sonic '06 kind of open
where it's like a
looking
hub world,
world,
and then
but
you end up going to a level.
yeah,
Yeah, and then but they were like saying there was a weird attack now where you trace the enemies, like so you run in a circle around a group, and then all of a sudden it damages everyone in the circle you drew.
like a tornado type situation looking
Like
thing.
I think so. I didn't see anything on it, but if you watch the teaser trailer, he like makes like he's moving so fast. There's like a blue line around him where he's running, and like they show like an
Hmm.
overhead view, and it's like just makes like a little circle around something.
Is there like a link to this somewhere? Or
Yeah, I can send it to you.
okay, yeah, I'll watch that after.
Yeah, it's like
That sounds
it's
interesting.
like a 22-second thing, but the fact that they sent out a press release and then backed out of it, they're like, no, we didn't mean to send this out. That's just funny to me.
Okay, Sonic Rangers. I mean, with the Sonic Colors, Sonic Boom.
Yeah.
Too Sonic, too fast.
Yeah, I couldn't tell
Free
you
Furious.
anything about what the plot will be about, but
Yeah,
I'm guessing
old
they'll be
Sonic stuff.
rangers.
Going fast.
It looked like it looked like the environment was like a forest though, so it could be like him just trying to protect the environment.
Oh, kind of like the original games.
Yeah, like it looked like maybe like a redwood forest or something he was running through.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that brings up some memories of the original trilogy.
Hmm.
Definitely. Then get his guest appearance with Captain Planet. I could see it. They're both blue.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that was the only
um,
major thing I could think of that really popped out for me.
yeah. So you got anything else, or do you want to discuss the Horizon demo
So you did
that
watch
they've
it.
put out? I did watch it. Yes.
Okay, so what are you thinking about it so far?
So far the cinematics, it looks really good. Especially when it goes from the just cinematic gameplay into just gameplay. So I'm not sure if they're doing a whole like let's just lightly touch up the cinematic and then ease it into, which is usually what they do in a game.
Hmm.
Because there's usually three levels. You have a super high detailed, it looks beautiful cinematic stuff, and then you have the in between stuff to where it's gameplay, but it looks a little more touched up, and then it goes fully into gameplay.
Right.
It seems like they've done a really good transition on that because to me, when I think of the original, that would really stand out. It'd be like the older Final Fantasy games, and then like Final Fantasy 9 area, 10.
Hmm.
Uh, and then I thought it was really cool when she was running around and talking to herself, her self dialogue. It keeps you invested in what she's doing, and her saying something like helps point out, oh, maybe I should go this way. But then she wouldn't shut up.
Yes, I was gonna say that. It's like I'm gonna go over this pillar. I'm gonna jump this ravine. And it's like we get it. That's where
I
you
need
want
to
to.
take a crap.
That's where you need me to go.
Yeah.
In no waypoints. It's just listening to her complain about where she needs to run to.
I mean, it's cool when they do that. I mean, obviously, they do that a lot in games,
Oh yeah.
but usually it's not to this degree. This was like, I need to have some kind of witty, snappy line for everything I kill consecutively.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that kind of stuff can be a little overbearing if it's going to be a lot of that. But it still looks really good.
Yeah, and then it looked like she had
I
like a
really
super attack too, like when she put something on the spear and then slammed it into the
oh the
ground.
whole boom the electrical thing.
Yeah, it reminded me of
Yeah,
like
I was thinking about that.
it reminded me of a fighting game
Um,
attack. Like you know how you have like a
did you
cinematic
play
clone
the
into?
Yeah. Did you play the first one?
Not yet. As soon as they announce a date for the second one, I'm gonna start this at the first.
Okay. Yeah, it's been a very long time since I played the first one. I got almost all the way through it, and then I can't remember what happened. I eventually sold it back, but a few months ago I bought it back again because I wanted to finish it. It was a really good game, and they have a lot of cool little attacks and things like that with it.
Hmm.
And it seems like a lot of the gameplay is actually going to be, very much the same. Why fix or why change something that did really well? But on top of that, they are obviously going to add new things with the already established gameplay mechanics.
Right.
I also really enjoyed the jungle to ocean looking transitions. That game was very, very beautiful on the first one, especially. I mean, to think about how the engine and stuff for the first game was the same engine used for like Death Stranding.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious on this. The people seem really smooth. It kind of creeps me out a little bit. They look like clay people
Yeah.
almost.
I like the environments a lot though. Like when
They
like
do
in the
look good.
jungle, like if you just like pause a frame, it looks so good. And like I saw even
Um,
there's like a scene where she's jumping over like a small creek and you can see the water pressure when it turns down a bend. It
hmm.
looks really neat how they did the effects on that too. And the
I thought
underwater
it was
stuff
really
too.
interesting.
Did you see how the camera looked
Yeah, yeah.
underwater?
Yeah, it was really cool. Oh, and then I was just like, oh, I wonder if they're gonna make her talk like in a floaty voice, thinking to herself. And then she didn't say anything for a while. I'm like, huh. And then she did.
Yeah,
Like,
and she was underwater for a while. She did
okay.
not go up to get anything to breathe.
Yeah,
Normally you
yeah.
get like the music doing like the faster pace, like pick it up, get up to the top.
Dun 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 dun. I also found it a little. I mean, I always find these gameplay trailers funny, but awesome at the same time because the whole job of the person playing the game is to run through that same area to make it as cool as possible.
Yeah,
But at the same time, I think it would be funny in a way of like your gameplay may vary because you might not be this good. Sorry. Like they were running directly. They knew where to go
yeah,
for the cutscene. Because definitely, I know I'll be running around. I'll probably jump out of a tree or something, land in the water, but then it'll do the whole running up to the log cutscene thing. I'm like, huh. They did that perfectly.
yeah. Like when they were fighting the mammoth monster, like dinosaur machine thing, knew exactly
Yeah,
where to
yeah.
hit it. And all this, knocked the tusk off. Knew it was a Gatling gun after that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because I was thinking about that because if you at least at that point in the game, I'm assuming that's a bit later in the game, maybe early, but a little bit, after the beginning. It'll probably be you're gonna want to take that thing down as soon as possible. But this person was like jumping left and right, like, look at me, I'm cool. This game can look this cool. Maybe not your gameplay because you suck, but look at this.
Yeah, it did look pretty fluid though. Like
Yeah, it
there's
was
that
nice.
grappling ability you have now,
Hmm.
and the added a glider because every game needs to be Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, well, hey, I mean, cool digital glider looking thing. I think I even put that in my notes, like new thing. The glider was cool though, but
Yeah,
especially when, uh, sorry, my brain just went. Bleh. I was thinking about the giant giraffes that you would climb in the first game to unlock the area and whatnot, and then you climb back down and stuff. Now you can just jump off and be like, "Wee!"
yeah. The, I don't know, man. There's it. Oddly interested in this game.
Yeah, I mean, since you haven't gone through the first one, I definitely recommend both of them. I need to get through the first one mainly for the ending of the story. It's a lot of it is still fresh in my mind, even though it was a long time ago. That's kind of how much the story stuck out with me.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much they've like fixed some of the bugs that I've seen. A lot of it. I mean, if you look it up on YouTube, I'm sure you could find some hilarious glitches. I found some when I was playing.
Well, they even added an expansion where it's like in the like a frozen land or something.
Oh yeah, the frozen. I don't know, the big rainbow pond looking frozen thing. Yeah, I didn't get to play that, but or actually with the one I have now, it comes with that DLC, so I'll definitely be able to play through that.
Yeah, I think Sony just was giving it out last month, or maybe even. Yeah, I think it was last month.
It's been a while since I've checked up on
No, it wasn't even a
their
PlayStation Plus
games.
game. It was just a free game.
Oh, well then,
They were like, "Stay inside, play games, play this."
make me. Um. Oh crapola. What about you? What have you been playing anything?
Yes, I've been playing Dragon Quest One on the Super Famicom, but translated into English.
Hmm.
And it's
Yes,
actually
you're going through those old schools.
yeah. I'm currently recording a Let's Play for it. I think I'll upload the first episode soon. I have it just sitting. But
Okay.
what's funny is like every time you open a chest, there's like this the character says "what" with an exclamation mark and a question mark. And it's like you found a torch. And it's like what? You found a seed. And you're just like what? It's so
Just
funny.
questioning everything.
It's great. I think
Uh,
in Japan it was just saying like "nani" or something, and it's just but
yeah.
it's just funny how they translated that.
Holy crap. What?
Yeah, so I try to say it differently every time. It's because you notice it happens so much. You're just like, this is great. But
It's
it's a grind fest, though. I think you could beat the game in a half hour if you knew what you were doing. But if you don't know what you're doing, you have to grind, and that takes like 8 hours.
are you gonna go for that speed run?
No,
No, okay.
I watched someone speedrun of it. I'm like, this, like, they manipulated the RNG so they had no encounters to get to certain spots, and I'm just like, there's no way I can do that.
Uh, uh, that reminds me of Bravely Default. I need to get back to that game, man.
Did you finish
The
the second
sequel.
one?
No,
Okay.
I played that little bit, and then I've just gotten swept off by other games, and I am like fully immersed in Mass Effect right now,
Okay.
to the point where I've almost platinumed it already. It comes with the Legendary Edition trophies, and there's not too many of them, but each game has their own trophies as well.
Which is nice. I really like that because I
Yeah.
saw the trophy list and then I saw the achievement list, and it doesn't even have like 3,000 points on Xbox.
Yeah, also that you have like 3 different accounts that have over 1,000 each.
Mm-hmm.
You are a trophy hunter, man. I went to one of your main profile that you usually use. It's like over 3,400 to 600 trophies.
Yeah, that
And
sounds right.
your least used one, that you haven't, it says you haven't been on in 10 months on that one, and that was well over 1,160 area.
Yeah, I I like to have a as close to 100% on one profile so I can kind of just feel good about not having the stupid like 3% games that I just rented once.
Yeah, that made me feel a little bad because I went through my whole list, because I only have 2 platinums. I've 100%ed a few games though that didn't have platinums, which
Mm-hmm.
was kind of weird. I've got a bunch of zeros on there just from games that I was just like, oh, I'm gonna get this. This is garbage. Sell it back. What the crap is going on?
Was that weird noise I just heard?
Oh, yeah, that was the buzzing. Sorry, because I put I thought I was on complete silence, but it was just silent with the vibration.
Yeah. I thought like a car drove by your house, and I was like, that's really loud to get through the noise canceling you had.
Wow, that was oddly powerful, just for a phone vibration. Wow.
I had my phone set down on top of like a game case, and like someone
Mhm.
was calling me, and my phone was just on silent but vibrate, and it fell off the case. Like it vibrated to the side so much that it just fell off, and I was just like, I don't want to get that.
Man, trying to think. 'Cause there's a lot of other things I want to play that's coming out, but right now I'm just kind of stalled until I get through Mass Effect, and then I'll probably go through something else. But I'm really excited for E3, and I really wish like June would, hurry up,
Yeah.
please.
Well, June's already just crazy with releases. So
Hmm.
the Final Fantasy for 7 for PS5 comes out like next month or next week. Which I don't.
I still like. Do you think 16 will be any kind of shown at the E3 or?
I feel like it should be. I think that's gonna be the
Yeah,
next one they release because
yeah. There was no release date on that originally, I believe.
no, but they the fact that they had so much of it already rendered looked like it was pretty far along, much further than like 15 was when it was first announced.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
15 was
and
one
even though
like
they're,
Cyberpunk where it just was shown for so long.
oh god, yeah. I went back and followed a lot of that, and they even had their own like expo event just for the game. That was pretty cool. They're like, yo, we've teamed up with this designer that actually designed the clothes for the characters in game. You can actually buy those clothes right now. You want a pair of the socks that Noctis wears? $50.
My God,
You want his jacket? That's going to be a few. It was almost like the whole Dante jacket situation. It was crazy.
that's ridiculous, man.
If you got the money, I guess.
Yeah, if you want to look like your what's his name, Noctis,
Yep. Oh, Sasuke.
discount Sasuke.
Yeah. Uh, God. But
So
yeah, for Final Fantasy.
I know that there's a rumor going around that Square Enix is gonna have during their press conference, they're gonna have a Dark Souls like Final Fantasy game.
Yeah. I didn't look too much into this. I barely like skimmed it when I was going through the news, but
It
it
seems to be
didn't really
made by
pass on
the
my radar
guy.
yet.
It seems to be made by the team that did Neo. So like it's gonna be a kind of a harder game, I guess, but it's gonna be like in the Final Fantasy 1 universe, which is kind of interesting
Okay.
because that's the most fantasy of Final Fantasy. It's pre
Oh,
cyber.
rainbow unicorns and Nyan Cat.
Yeah, there's none of that steampunk or like cyberpunk or space stuff. It's just he did magic.
Just magic.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think maybe flying ships were there. I don't remember what they were powered by, but
Those
it's
are
a Final
very
Fantasy
famous
game, so it's
for
like
being in JRPGs. You need to get around. Here's a giant Zeppelin pirate ship.
you're just like, okay.
It's like a full-on wood ship, but it's a big balloon as well.
You didn't. I don't think you've played much of it, but in Tales of Vesperia, you get a boat later on in the game, and it just goes over water. But then you get like this dragon thing that picks up your boat and flies you around, and so your boat's just flying, being dangled by this like dragon thing. It's pretty cool. It like looks like a whale,
Uh,
so it's like just, every game does their flying ship differently.
but yeah, I mean, it's got to be in there. It's one of the common tropes. You need, let's see, mana. You need a phoenix down up in there, and a big flying Zeppelin ship looking thing.
Yeah,
That's it. You need your project triangle strategies, your project octagons. Yeah,
all your
take
shapes
your
are making a
octopaths.
circle.
um, yeah, dude. I still need to go and play that as well. I've been very lazy on my JRPG playing lately.
Same.
Oh, but yes, Final Fantasy 16. I was thinking because a lot of OG Final Fantasy fans now, for some people that have been watching me for a while, or a lot of my friends that know that I really want to get into Final Fantasy. I own almost every Final Fantasy game, from 7 and up, but I just can't for some reason. I like them. I like playing them, but I just can't. I would probably say my closest ever to beating one was Crystal Chronicles. Now, 16 reminds me of like a 15 version of Crystal Chronicles, and I freaking love that. Now, a lot of the OG fans don't like that. They're like, this is too fantasy for my final, and I'm all about it. I like it. The
I
whole crystals and stuff like that.
So the more I think about Final Fantasy 16, the more hyped I get because the way they were just all in this one trailer, they were saying how there's the summon spirits. I guess they're calling them icons in this game. There's
Hmm.
one of each element, but then a second fire one appears. And the known fire one in that universe, I guess, was the Phoenix, which is creation. And then they made Ifrit was the new one that was just created there. And that's the fire spirit of destruction, I guess, in that universe. So the whole
Okay,
theme of the game is creation versus destruction, which is that just gets me hyped
that's
the more I
cool.
think about it. And the combat's by the like
Um,
it's closer to Devil May Cry than it is turn based, which
it
that
looks
that gets me
awesome, and
hyped.
I want to see it. I want to see more.
Yes, I was like,
They also had a lot of other things that were popping out, right?
yeah, because
When they were showing off.
yeah, because they just they had like character bios, like they finally announced the main guy's name, which I think it's
Not Noctis
It's Clive. They
5.
yeah
He's the dude who wrote Narnia.
because
Clive Staple Lewis.
the little boy who gets the blood splattered onto his face is named Joshua. He was the only name we really knew for like most of the the time until they had little bios pop up on their website.
Man, do these names seem like a little too almost ordinary, like real life versus what they usually have?
Kind of, yeah. It's not like
Sephiroth, Cloud.
lightning, snow. Yeah, I kind of like it that way though.
I can't remember. I should have looked this up. Well, it didn't even cross my mind until just now, because somewhere along the way in the last few weeks, I was scrolling and I found something about um Konami possibly like releasing some IPs. And I really want to. I want my Suikoden, damn it! I want my Suikoden games. I believe it was something with Metal Gear. They were doing something with Metal Gear again.
Yeah,
Possibly.
There's rumors
handing it
that
out.
Sony might be making a Metal Gear game.
Like if Konami is willing to just be like, here's our IP, we'll take some of that money if you don't mind. We just don't want to make it. Please just do that. I want my Suikoden series back.
So who would make it then?
I would probably trust that series with Monolith.
Okay.
Because I mean, I love their work on Batten Kaitos and Xenoblade. They do a great job when it comes to uh, big JRPG stories like that.
Yeah. Is Monolith owned by Nintendo?
Maybe I can't remember.
Yeah, because that's where it gets
Because
kind of shaky ground, I'd say.
yeah, Monolith was separated from SquareSoft when they became Square Enix.
Yeah.
And so that's when they were formed over there. So I'm not sure if they're doing the whole Game Freak situation, with the I keep doing this. Why do I? There's a lot of hypotheses I need to be putting up here. Um, I got a lot of quotations going on. But yeah, it was a whole Game Freak situation. So I'm not sure if they're like 100%
Owned,
in.
or if they
I
just
need to
like
think.
work with them a lot. It's because they did Bandai. They worked with Bandai for I think, what was the game? It not Xenoblade, but the one before it, Xenosaga.
Okay.
And then I forget which.
Oh yeah, the older ones.
Yeah, so I think Xenogears was when they were like with SquareSoft or whatever the. I
Hmm.
think that sounds right to me.
I can only recall like Nintendo games that they've made. Anything else that might have been on some other console or other company, I just can't recall. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say they're with Nintendo.
Okay.
That's what I know them best for.
Yeah, because
I would totally trust them with it.
Konami has been sitting on a lot of IPs that I want to see used, like Castlevania. We haven't seen a new Castlevania since the
What was
Lords
it?
of
Lord of
Shadow.
Shadows?
Yeah, which
Yeah.
they kind of butchered that with the second one. It's like a modern day setting. It was neat. It was a different idea,
Trying to
but
change
it's
it.
like, I don't know. I really wanted like a retelling of the older games, but in a more modern style, and I just never really got that.
It's Symphony
I
of the
got
Night.
the DS game, which was a sequel to Lords of Shadow 1, and it was like kind of that, but not that at the same time.
Hmm. Crap, man. Yeah, and I think because we've discussed some of that one company that's popping out with older IPs. I believe we discussed that last episode, but there's just so much up in the air right now, and it's a very exciting time for games.
Yeah, we'll know more in like 2 weeks what's going on. The
Yeah,
landscape is too. It's hard to. We cannot predict it. It
that's the
is.
exciting thing, though.
It is exciting, but it's also like you just want to
A little
know.
scary.
You just want to
Yeah,
know, and man,
I mean, you got to keep us you got to keep us waiting. They got the whole freaking Twinkie on a stick and just dangling it right there.
well, we'll
But
chase
I
it.
mean, laws and legalities of having to keep IPs under wraps and et cetera, so on and so forth.
Yeah,
Uh, but yeah, I mean, at least for games, there's a lot coming out, and I'm just excited.
yeah,
But
because
I think that's about it.
I think Ubisoft might be the first one for E3 this year.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Did you see
Aren't
anything
they
on Far
doing?
Cry 6?
Yes, I did. I can't remember. Crapola, where'd it go? Because Far Cry 6 was looking pretty good.
Yeah, because they just did
Yeah, I
they
mean,
showed
it
a
got
gameplay
pushed back,
trailer
but
this week, I think.
oh yeah, right there. Yeah, what you're talking about. Far Cry 6 is one of Ubisoft's most eagerly anticipated releases for 2021. Here's the newest trailer, etc., etc., etc. With
Yeah,
Danny Rojas. I mean, yeah, it looks cool and all. I'm going to expect it to 100% be another Far Cry.
yeah,
At least in its setting, what it's looking like, it seems maybe they're incorporating a little more modern and 3 at the same time. I mean, 3 was my personal favorite. But after that, 4 and 5, I got both of them, but I just really didn't get into them because it seems it's becoming very stale in my opinion of just the same thing.
Yeah, it kind
I
of
mean, that's what
needs.
Ubisoft does, though.
True. It needs something like a shakeup. Like Assassin's
Hmm.
Creed got it with the Origins, and even then, it's like now it's starting to be stale again.
Yeah, they're very good at making something groundbreaking and like, whoa, everybody loves this. Now let's proceed to use this same horse and birth the same thing until it's dead,
Yes, that's the Ubisoft
and
motto.
then change it up a little bit. Yeah,
Copy my
I
homework.
mean, oh,
It's
love them,
the copy
love
my
love a lot
homework,
of the
but
stuff they've
change the
done.
answer a little bit. But they're the ones who made the answer.
Yeah, so it is the same answer. Jesus. Oh, Sega popped up, and of course they got Lost Judgment.
Which is gonna be really good. They announced Sonic the Fighters is gonna be in the arcade cabinet in it.
Okay. Oh yeah, right there. I see that. Oh crapola. Oh, June, new games. Sonic, the Fighters, and Witcher 3, and Witcher 3 is Witcher 3 going to become like a GTA 5?
Probably.
I hope not. I
It's
mean, I love Witcher, but gotta move on.
because it's not just those. It's also Saints Row 3. That's gonna be released on 3 systems in a row.
Uh, I mean, if it makes some money, good for them.
I've just heard this week though that there might be a Saints Row 5, which I could see that, but they also haven't done
Mhm.
anything since 4.
Nope,
They,
I'm gonna lift my chair real quick. Okay.
it's a chair from
Chair was getting
GameStop.
a little too. Yeah, it's a GameStop chair, man.
Okay, all
It's
right.
actually really good,
Gotcha.
surprisingly.
I was trying to figure out what it said.
Oh, Game Writer, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, freaking warm. It is so warm here. It's been like 108 degrees.
I know what you mean, dude. My phone's been giving me
Ah,
notifications every morning like it is gonna be really hot today. Be prepared. It's like
to
thanks.
hate your
Like
life.
it's a great way to wake
Yes.
up in the morning before work. Just like okay.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I love these shirts. These shirts are so thin and comfy. So I wear them all weekend. It's whatever. I got a butt ton of these shirts.
So here's some
Oh,
news that I just found. Um, so you know the Need for Speed games?
yes. Oh, the
EA
whole
is
licensing.
yeah, they're taking all the old ones down.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, because I guess no one plays the servers, and they're like, "Hey, we'll just kill it."
What you gonna do?
Man, I grew up playing Need for Speed Hot Pursuit too, though, so it has a
Yeah, I
soft
played a lot
spot
of
with
those with
me.
my brother.
I don't
I
like
always
the
thought they were
I
really.
don't like the remaster though.
I think my first like really into car type game was the driver games because it was a little bit of like what Hitman and GTA mixed in with driving
Yeah,
being the main focus.
I remember renting games, and there was a game on GameCube. I think it's called Spy Hunter, and that was a cool
That
car
sounds
game.
familiar.
It's I'm gonna have to pick that up again. I just remember liking it. I don't think it's probably that good of a
Yeah,
game, but just like one of those things that you just have fond memories of.
yeah. It's. I mean, as I got a little bit older because my brother would play a lot of like Forza and all that stuff, but I just kind of fell off. Like for me, it's like, yeah, this is cool what they can do with the driving games. It looks beautiful, but I drive every day. I see cars every day when I go to work.
Right.
Come on, it's not for me.
I get that, but some people like they grew up. It's their lifestyle. It's amazing
Yeah,
how there's genres for almost everything now.
yeah, it's awesome.
Like there's hunting games. Like it's very strange that
Uh,
everything exists in some form or another.
Yeah, it's I always find it funny though with those hunting games. They usually look like they've been made for like an arcade cabinet or something.
Like Cabela's or whatever.
Yeah.
But there was like one that
It eh,
you like looked. It looked like it had good graphics, but the character models looked horrible. But yeah, it's like it's interesting how all the like genres though. Like there's life simulator games. There's VR chats. Like what is this?
yeah, I mean, breaking down their lineage all the way back to something like The Sims and things like that. I mean, and The Sims are still going strong, especially with how much they've done. It's almost like an unstoppable sleeping force
Yeah,
because you don't really hear big news about The Sims or anything like that, but they're still, rolling millions, dude.
yeah. They released an expansion for $40 every for like other month,
Yeah, yeah.
and people
It's
buy it.
Sims, I think, was like my first introduction into PC game. No, my first thing into PC gaming was a pack-in game from Taco Bell back in the late 90s, early aughts. It came with it was a floppy disk. That should tell anybody if who's been watching this and doesn't know what a floppy disk is.
Yeah.
That was the OG games we would play on PC, and it was almost like an original Prince of Persia, if you know what that looks like.
Hmm.
Jumping around and pixelated whip, and you're looking for the frickin' chalupas and burritos or whatever.
Man, that era was weird.
Yeah, man.
Because I remember, I don't know where I got it, but I had like a Yu-Gi-Oh PC game back then, and it was like it wasn't even the card game. It's like you put in the
Yeah, I think.
CD-ROM, and it's just like you see like a quiz from the characters of the TV show, and you're just like, "That's a game."
Oh yeah, I mean, or even with the whole breakout of like into Xbox 360 and Burger King doing their whole King game. I think it's a trilogy too.
Probably.
I think they have three of them.
Uh,
But also there was periods of time where things like 7-Eleven was featuring like Halo
right.
and their Halo slushy, and you can buy a copy of Halo at the 7-Eleven. Or Burger King did that as well as their own games. There's a lot of crazy experiments out there.
Do they still do like kids meals, like where you get like a toy?
Yeah, yeah, they do.
Okay.
Also, McDonald's recently was doing the whole Pokemon thing, and there was people literally because some McDonald's you can go in and just buy the toys, and there was grown ass men going in there and being like, "Give me all your Pokemon cards, especially the Charizards, please."
Dude, the cards have gotten insane. Have you seen like the people getting trampled at like Targets?
Yeah, yeah, and Target having to shut it down.
Yeah.
And I thought Walmart was supposed to do that as well, but there was the one clip going around at whatever Walmart that was. Like, come on, man. If I was a store manager, I would constantly take the cards and just move them in a different section of the store so they'd at least have to like work for it or something.
I don't get it because like only the cards that are worth something are the old cards, not the new stuff. Some new cards are
True. I
worth
mean,
it, but it's like you're not gonna go to the
three to five
Target and
hundred.
buy like a Charizard from 1990 something.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I would assume there's also just kind of like stocks. There's like day traders and stuff. So there's people like, hey, I
Oh,
paid like $15 for this, but I can make a 500 plus return if I get this card. But also on the other hand, they might think long term trading. Again, I need to chop these fingers off. Um, and they might hold on to the card believing that it'll go up in value later on.
sure.
I
There's
mean, because who is predicting old Pokemon cards being worth over $1,000 plus?
yeah, because like I think you see that with Amiibos now too.
Oh yeah, oh definitely, especially with defect ones. The most expensive ones are the defect ones, like the double cannon Samus.
Mm.
That was a lot of money. I'm gonna look that up. That was a butt ton of money just for a defect amiibo.
Yeah, and like also like the for Smash 4, like the player 2 versions of some characters, those are worth a
Mhm.
lot too, just because they're so hard to find.
Double cannon Samus amiibo fetches 2,500 on eBay.
That's crazy.
I know there was I thought there was one that was on auction that went for more. That I'm guessing that was it though. I thought it was more than that. Yeah, man, it is crazy. With some of the amiibos, like they have a whole list lineup too for which ones are the most expensive. I think it was a Yoshi Woolly World one, like the dog, or maybe the big Yoshi. I can't remember.
Gotcha.
They also have the double pack of Wind Waker, Link, and Zelda together
Oh,
because now they also sell them individually.
right.
But I mean, it's eh.
Yeah, I know some people were like holding on to like the Monster Hunter ones that just came out. They're like, they'll be worth something in the future. I know it. And they might
Oh
be.
yeah, especially like with scalpers though. Scalpers just ruin that stuff because
Yeah.
they were as soon as the Bowser 3D, the freaking cat Mario, the furry Mario,
Right.
and Peach, they were snagging those up and selling them like hotcakes, but for like triple plus the price. And GameStop is still producing those. Like we bought more, so you can get them still. You don't have to pay those prices.
What's crazy is when people are putting eBay listings up and they don't even have their actual pre-order yet. They're selling
Oh,
the
dude, that
idea
is
of it.
straight garbage.
It's like
Um,
like the
yeah,
Zelda
I'd probably
Loftwing that
say
just came out. You can find eBay listings
yeah,
for it, and it's like it's not even out yet, and you're already charging like $50 for it more.
yeah. I saw that and I was at least something for me because the big thing that pissed me off was the Joy Cons for the game. I really wanted those Zelda Joy Cons, but
Same.
they were gone within what'd she say, like 10 minutes or
I
less.
think so. Yeah.
But yeah, that was unfortunate. And then they're selling them for like up to 200 plus or whatever. And then, but at least with the Loftwing though, yeah, that's cool. I'm not too salty on that. I didn't bother for that because I would like a Link with his Loftwing.
Yeah. People are salty though because it's the quick travel functionalities with it, and it's like
Yeah.
deal. I can't tell you what to do there. I just collect Zelda amiibos though, so it's like I'm gonna get it just for
Yeah,
when Breath of the Wild
yeah.
2 comes out. I can get the stupid outfit that comes with it because I'm sure there'll be one.
I could imagine Link walking around with like a big bird head
I mean,
hat and a
Nintendo would
walt.
do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, they gave him a freaking Tingle outfit.
True. Yeah.
Ah, man. I think at least for now, that's everything we got for gaming news.
Yeah.
Sorry, I need to charge my freaking controller. I'll put that over there. So have you been checking anything on anime lately?
Not really. I've watched the Inuyasha stuff, but we'll go over that when we do the
Yeah, we'll do
fragment.
that separately.
Yeah. But I've been watching Yu Yu Hakusho a little bit. Not just like clips of it though. I haven't like sat down to watch the series.
Oh, do you do that whole like, oh, here's my favorite scene. I'm gonna type in my favorite scene of this and reaction and watch other people's reactions
Not
to
like
your
that
favorite scene?
though, but like if it's like I just search Yu Yu Hakusho clips and it'll be like random out of context
Hmm.
clips. It'll be like some dude being
Oh,
attacked
okay.
by something, and it'll just be like his one liners from that, and it's just like those are funny.
Um, yeah, man. I mean, I do that, but mine is primarily with the most recent one I can think of is still My Hero Academia's season 3, opening 4, 3 or 4. I can't remember, but the one where All Might is really pissed off and he's screaming. I don't know why, but that whole scene just gives me chills. Like, yes, beat his ass, do it.
So like right, well we're gonna be into spoilers for My Hero Academia, I guess at this point.
I've started rewatching at this point because I fell off waiting for the last season that came out, but at that point it had already been so long, so I just started rewatching it again.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for Mugen Train. I want to stream that, but I got to wait for it to be done with theaters.
Yeah, I still need to watch Demon Slayer.
Yeah, I think you'd really like it. It's really good.
I'm sure. I just I don't know. There's like three things that piss me off about it. The idea of it, I'll probably get over it as
Mhm.
I watch it. But it's like, one, the series is done now. Like, that's not making any more chapters weekly. That right there just kind of pisses me off already because it's like maybe it was done well, maybe it wasn't. I don't know yet. I haven't got to it. But the idea of like you just have all this success and you're just like, that's it. Like people are like arguing it's gonna be like more sales than One Piece. And it's like he just gave up.
Mm,
It's like he's done. That it's not gonna do that.
yeah,
I want a competitor.
yeah,
I don't want people are just gonna half-ass this.
yeah. I would assume like they're not trying to focus on long term stuff
Sure. Yeah. And I
such
mean,
as One Piece.
and it is smarter to have like a start-ended ending and kind of just go for it too.
Yeah, One Piece seems basically it seems like the ancients. It's one of the ancients that's still going because a lot of anime these days have become more into a 12 episode type thing, and they've
Oh yeah.
gotten really good at doing that, like wrapping the entire story up in a nice little package of 12 episodes. More common was what the 24, 25 episode,
Yeah.
sometimes 26. But regardless, for me, it's going to be like how much can it maintain my interest. One Piece definitely still has a good strong hold over that market. I really enjoy it. I'm still not even bothering. All the new stuff came out that I had been waiting years for in the dub at least. But I'm still waiting for more because they've reached what the 1,000 episodes at this point now, almost.
975, I think.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a little
They're getting
further.
there. They're getting there. Yeah.
Just God,
Yeah,
that is so much dubbing.
I am still
Those people are set.
the arc. I am one of my favorite arcs is currently being dubbed right now, and I'm still waiting for that to be done before I watch it. I haven't even started it yet because I know I'm gonna fall in
Yeah,
that
because
whole like, oh, I have to wait for more episodes now, and it's like I hate that feeling.
I binge way too hard, so I need multiple seasons when I do that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or else I'm just going to be back in my same situation because I've waited since like 2016 for the current dubs that they have released, but
Yeah.
now I'm just like I've gotten worse, and I'm like, okay, I need more than that. So I've just been kind of going back, rewatching other things, and I remember that one anime for you, Decadence.
Oh yeah, I just saw there's a Blu-ray listing for pre-order,
Yeah, that thing is awesome.
which while I'm on the topic of those pre-orders, I think I messaged you this, but I saw Vinland Saga is being dubbed because its release is being released on Blu-ray.
Yeah, yeah. For once, I never thought I was actually ever going to say this, but Amazon, good job. You're doing it. You're doing it. I never thought this would happen.
Yes, I know.
Now, if you could do Inuyashiki, please.
That one's still the holdout, I think.
Like, come on.
Dororo is finally being released as well, which is one of my favorites. I watched when it was airing, just in the sub.
Mhm.
And that's like it's about like a samurai that I guess like his father tries to get stronger and summons demons, and then ends up like sacrificing his kid to do that. And so like for every demon there is like he has to like kill the demon to get part of his body back. So it's like he's like blind until he kills a certain demon, then he gets his eyes back, and then it's like it's a very twisted show. But it's by the guy who did Astro Boy, so it's like really old, but they just modernized it, and it's like really, it's really cool how they did it.
Yeah,
I think you'd like it.
I don't that kind of reminded me of like Black Butler almost for a second there.
Mm-hmm. But like he has like no skin, and he has to like wear like a doll mask, and then like he gets his skin back later, and then, like it doesn't need it anymore. It's
Can you imagine the pain?
Yeah. He feels nothing at first, and then he learns like to talk. It's a very cool series.
Okay.
Yeah, but that'll come out this
I'll
year.
have to check that.
We can do it. We can do a fragments thing on it, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I'll also talk about the whole Funimation update here because it's not big enough to go into its own little thing. Just a little mention if anybody watches Funimation. Another good job. You did your job. You actually updated your app after like a bazillion years, and it actually looks good. It looks really good. It's been responding well. I really enjoy almost every aspect compared from old Funimation to now. It looks good. It seems like they just looked at Netflix and was like, let's do that, but purple.
I still
Yeah,
haven't
I
used
like
the
it.
app yet.
It's
I'll
good.
check it out.
It does have some situations, most notably typos. I love it because you'll be reading something and it's just typoed, like somebody didn't proofread this,
Yeah, that doesn't
and
surprise me.
like
It's
I don't know what
Funimation.
this is saying.
I think the people who
um,
set up that also are in charge of their tweets, so it's like,
it's weird, man. With such a company that makes so much money, being one of the more dominant dubbing industries in America, you would think they would have this kind of stuff down, since I would assume most of their money comes from people using their app.
so here's an interesting thing about the whole Funimation thing. So you
Mhm.
know how Funimation is owned by Sony, and Sony also
Mhm.
owns Aniplex now, and
And Crunchyroll.
they're buying Crunchyroll, but it might be blocked. I haven't seen any updates on
Uh,
this, but it might be blocked because it could be a monopoly situation because Sony would own those three big corp like those big licenses. Then who would their competitors be at that point? Just Viz Media with their one Naruto DVD set they do every other month.
yeah, that would be that's like Avatar all over again. All the dubbing industries leaving living in harmony until Sony bought everything up.
And it's weird because Viz Media's stuff like Naruto and Bleach are starting to come onto like Funimation over time.
Yeah, yeah. I always find that funny, at least with like my TV and watching older anime. It'll do the whole like big black bars on the side because it can't do 75-inch TVs.
Yeah, because it was made in 4:3 ratio.
Yeah. God, I had so many good memories because I believe Naruto was being released here in the States around junior high, right?
Yeah.
From on like Cartoon Network, Toonami,
Hmm.
and stuff. Because I remember coming home and then, like, let's see what's on because the only anime at the time that you could get from those networks was around midnight on Adult Swim. And then they, introduced Toonami and things like that. And that was awesome. And it was really cool that they were bringing over like these big long series, but it also kind of got out of control with everybody wearing their stupid headbands and
Oh my
whatever.
god. Yeah.
Believe it.
The Weebs.
Neck bearding, getting that neck beard on.
Yeah.
But regardless,
Well, because like
it's
if you
really
think back
blowing
about
up.
the popularity in the West, like it started with Dragon Ball, really.
Yeah, back in Astro Boy and Speed Racer and Dragon Ball,
Yeah.
all of those. And then, those got very popular and then booming up until I almost said Space Dandy, not Space Dandy. uh
Cowboy Bebop.
Thank you. Yes, my brain kept wanting
Yeah.
to say Space Dandy for some reason.
I think Cowboy Bebop was
But yeah,
2003. I think
I want to say 98, 99.
maybe.
I Are you gonna look it up?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'll check it out.
Okay, yeah.
Because I just
Because
remember
it's Steve Blum.
Not Cowboy Bebop. Yu Yu Hakusho came out in '93 in Japan.
I want to say it was like 98.
So yeah, '97 and '98 for the manga, and yeah, the
Mhm.
anime as well. You're right.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not going crazy.
Maybe I'm just
Um,
I'm thinking Inuyasha now because I was like trying to.
mhm. Oh, I mean, also with like Trigun. Trigun was really nice. But Steve Blum making Spike's character, it just really did something to the anime industry. People starting to go like, "Wow, this dub is awesome." It
Right.
doesn't sound like crap. and their mouth's still moving.
Yeah, because I think that one was the first show to take itself seriously as a TV show and not
Yeah,
like for kids, which is
yeah.
how
I
most
mean,
animes were perceived back then.
mhm. It really struggled with some like deep topics and stuff. Something like my little kid brain at the time, like I was like, oh, dude, this is cool. Everybody wants to be like Spike because he's like bam, 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 bam. But when you get older and you start rewatching it, you're like, oh yeah, the humor and stuff's a little corny, but man, they are touching on some freaking really deep topics. Like episode 1 immediately pops off with drug abuse and the loss of a loved one. Just it was sad, dude.
Oh yeah,
It was sad.
the lady pretending to be pregnant by carrying all the
Hmm.
drugs.
It is such a good show.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, it's really exploded into the mainstream media, which is really cool. Well, I mean, not saying like currently. I would probably say from '08, it really started getting its traction, like hardcore, with Death Note and things like that, and people still loving Naruto. Uh,
Yeah,
that never really died. I still see people in their headbands. And then, One Piece is still going. And then going even further into the early to mid teens when Naruto ended, and One Piece showing respect to Naruto and things like that. That's awesome, man.
yeah.
We're just our cultures are just mixing all of our different love of anime games and music and everything. Just it's awesome. I really enjoy it. You still have douchebags out there that'll make fun of you, but fuck them.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
But I think anime is probably at its most popular right now
yeah. It's
because
it's
like
definitely a high
you'll
peak,
see
dude.
like a lot of you can tell by like how many parents are wearing the anime shirts with their kids also wearing anime shirts too.
That is, yeah, I love it so much because our generation are the parents that
Yeah,
are wearing the anime shirts, and they're like, okay, we're gonna dress our kid up as Naruto or baby Naruto or whatever. It's freaking nuts, man.
yeah.
I love that kind of humor.
We have a mutual friend that he sent a meme to me. I'll send it to you after this.
Okay.
But it was like us growing up doing kamehamehas to the TV, and it's like as parents, it's like us doing kamehamehas to the TV with our kids doing it at the same time.
Yeah, I mean
It's like
that is
that's pretty
very
much how it
accurate.
is. Yeah,
Yeah, man. Just gotta love the times. What things are what they're becoming. Not the entire state of the world in 2020 and the pandemic. Just shut all that out the window.
sure. Like I saw a kid wearing he had a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure shirt, a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure hat, and it was not the Jotaro hat, but it was just like a hat that said the logo on it, and but in
Yeah, yeah.
Japanese, and it was just like I think he had anime shoes too, and it's just like a whole look. I think it's a thing
Yo,
now.
yo. The I'm starting at our workplace. I'm starting to see more and more customers popping in and out like with cosplay.
Hmm.
There's a few people that are regulars walking in and out in like different Todoroki and Deku and stuff like that. But it's I think it's pretty cool. People aren't trying to feel ashamed or whatever.
It's mostly
And
common when like the movies are playing in theaters and they're dressed up for that, and then they just come to them all too.
yeah, yeah. And I would say that the most common thing I've ever seen ever are Akatsuki from Naruto. They
Yeah,
got the robes and the hats and stuff, so it's a very easy cosplay, but at the same time you can kind of look like a cool nerd.
yeah.
I love it,
They
man.
want to be the Itachi, but they look like Hedon.
Yeah. Yep. Holy crap. But I think at least that's probably gonna do it for this episode. I think we're peaking over an hour now, right?
Yeah, we're at 120 ish, but I think that might have
Yeah,
some
that's
the preamble included in the timer. So
okay. Yeah, it's getting a little late and I'm gonna have to pop off for some editing and all that. So and also I just ran out of things to talk about. That's why it's a good culmination to do this thing
definitely,
once a week, once every 2 weeks, depending on the info train.
sure. Well,
I'm not
and
very good at carrying.
And we'll have E3 coming up this week, so we'll actually have a lot more things to
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about.
definitely.
So I guess we'll do
Um,
some closing thoughts.
yeah, we're gonna continue to brainstorm and make this whole podcast and this channel something really awesome. And just we're still new, okay?
That's how it is.
It's been a struggle,
But I guess
just balancing a lot.
should I go over what we plan on doing with Inuyasha?
Yeah, man. Yeah, do that.
So
That
that
was
way,
a
if
really cool
anyone wants
idea.
to
I
catch
like
up, if anyone wants to try to watch along with us, they can do that. So what
it.
we're going to be doing is something we're going to call like Bloomier Fragments, where it'll be we watch an anime series. Maybe we'll ask people which one we should watch next or something. We'll just watch a small chunk of it. So like this first one will be Inuyasha 1 through 7, like episodes 1 through 7, and then we just kind of go over those episodes kind of in depth. That's our rough goal for it. We'll see how well it turns out. That's the fun part of it is turning ideas into reality. So yeah, if you want to catch up with that, you can watch the first 7 episodes so that way you know what we're talking about, and then you can watch our discussion with it and then give your thoughts on it too, and then we can tell you which ones we're going to watch next after that in that episode.
Hell yeah. I mean, also with that, did you want to do the sequel after the main, or did you want to take a break in between?
We'll probably go to that too. I
Okay.
mean, if we're doing them in like 7 episode batches, it'll probably be a while. We'll probably take a break during the show, just see other shows. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
The sequel
I
series is
think
only
it's
like
like
24
100.
episodes though, so it's like
Oh, that's not bad. I know almost nothing about it aside from like, yo, it's in the future with their
mhm.
kids and stuff. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm going for like 7 episodes is it's a small amount of episodes to watch, but it's also a large amount of episodes to watch at the same time.
Yeah,
Like
it's a
if
good
you're
mix.
gonna watch like the average person watches maybe like 3 episodes a week of a show if they're watching a long format
Oh,
show. I know,
yeah.
yeah, I know you're a binge
I
watcher.
do. I can do maybe 12 episodes in a night,
Yeah,
depending on how late it is.
but that's the thing though is we're trying to get more people involved. We're not trying to do like a whole let's watch 24 episodes of
Everybody,
a
we're
show. And just
let everybody sit down at like a reading anime group.
yeah, kind of like a book club, but for anime discussion. That's the idea I have at least. We'll see how it turns out though.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
Well, maybe we'll do some smaller series that are like 24 episodes, so that way we can just kind of have some whatever we feel like talking about. Honestly.
Yeah, I like that, man. You're starting to get a little robot-y, at least on my end, unfortunately.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not sure if that's just because we've been going on for a long period of time.
Probably the case.
Yeah, but that's all good, man. Yeah, we'll keep in touch and go over that. I myself need to go back and watch the 7 episodes because it's been years since I've watched Inuyasha, but it's still one of my favorites. So I'm definitely going to be hopping on that bandwagon with you. So
Okay. And then
all
you
right.
said your other project you have coming up is your Mass Effect 2 review.
Yeah, I'll probably start on that after editing this and whatnot. So
Okay. And then
uh
I'll have a Dragon
that's gonna be,
Quest
I'm
playthrough
sorry.
coming out probably within this week of this episode airing.
Okay. Yeah, I was just mourning how much typing I'm gonna have to be doing because
Well, get over it.
my poor fingers.
They'll
The
learn.
basically it's the typing up the review stuff is the hardest part for me because I'm trying to figure like how I want to put this, but and then I look up like it feels like I've been typing for hours and I have like half a page. I'm like, ugh.
I'm gonna give you a solution. Text to speech.
Use the word. Yes. Well, I tried that, but I'm almost even worse because my brain is trying to function in words. I do that here on the podcast once in a while because I'm trying to think, and my brain's like grabbing other ideas while I'm talking about this one thing, and then I start going like, blah, blah, blah. But
Yeah.
what can I do?
Yep.
I'll get it out eventually. No more Russian videos out there. People really seem to enjoy that Mass Effect 1 video. That's up to like 50 some odd views now. I'm like,
Really?
wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, in
Okay.
6 days.
That's doing pretty good then. Congrats.
Um Thank you. It hasn't drawn in any more people, but it's definitely letting me know this is a direction I should be going in. Uh, but now I'm gonna start. I'm gonna have to break this down and figure my own way to do these reviews. Because I'm literally just pulling off. I'm not a reviewer. I'm learning how to become one. So it's going to be a little shaky at first, capturing footage and things like that, remembering to do this beforehand and blah 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 blah. But it's really exciting.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna see
definitely.
where that path takes me.
All right. Then I think with that, we're done with episode 2.
Hell yeah, man! Later, guys.
See ya. Have a good night.